My name is Bob Shearer. My wife's Doreen, and we have 3 children, Bobby, Michael, and Ashley. My grandfather bought the farm back in the mid-40s. My father took it over right around 1960. He wasn't real passionate about farming, which enabled me to start farming the farm when I got out of high school. Built first hog facility, actually a sow facility in '79, the first year out of high school, and ran that into the mid-80s. And then we sort of turned it over to finishing. Along with that, when I got out of high school, we started to do custom corn planting. Currently planting roughly 3,500 acres a year. Our operation's around 500 acres. The rest of it would be for custom farming. Built the second hog facility in 1998. Our children, the boys, were getting older, and gave them something to do to help with the farm. Help to increase the farm. Also, we got into custom harvesting, custom combining, probably around 1990. So both tried to grow both things to keep the boys interested in the farm. Our operation is located in western Lancaster County. Approximately half the 500 acres we farm is here local. The other half would be in southern Dauphin County. Growing up on the farm, I worked for several neighbors in my early teens before I started taking over the home farm. I just enjoyed farming, and I think the older I get, the more passionate I really get about it. It's one thing I tried to instill in my children, the passion for farming, and I think talking over farming issues at the supper table was a good thing. We always talk positively about farming, and all 3 of our children are in the farming field today. Our oldest son moved to Nebraska to start farming. Our second son works here on the farm, and our daughter actually has beef cattle here at home, starting a small herd. So it gives me, I'll say, pride that children are involved in agriculture. If you talk to me anytime, you'll understand that I'm very passionate about what I do. I'm on the board of the Lancaster County Conservation District and very passionate about conservation. We've been no-tilling for quite a few years and do most of the custom work is actually, I'd say probably 80-90% of it's no-till, and passionate about conserving our resources and keeping our land where it belongs. Our oldest son moved to Nebraska and started farming, and one thing that I really instilled in him was to learn from other farmers, look at other farmers that are doing the best that they can be doing out there, and learn from those farmers. Things are different in different parts of the country. I try and instill in all my children, look at somebody who's doing what they feel an excellent job, no matter if it's beef cattle or whatever, and try and learn from those folks. Ask questions and learn from there. Learn from your mistakes. Try not to do them twice. Another way I've learned about farming, not only learning from other folks, but I do a lot of reading through magazines. I read most anything I can get my hands on. You got to constantly learn. One thing I say, when the day I quit learning is the day they bury me. But anyway, there's all kinds of ways of learning. Along with the corn planting, I figured a year or 2 ago I probably planted over 40,000 acres in my life, and every year there's something new that you're learning, and every year is different. I mean, some years you've got to plant a little deeper, a little shallower, depending on the weather, and it's just a constant learning curve. If you're not learning, you're not growing. When we expanded with the second hog house and took on more debt, and also about the same time we were getting more acreage, continuing to add to that, our debt load was getting higher. So I started looking at crop insurance as being a risk management tool. Also, we were building some grain bins at the time, and with crop insurance, having my own grain storage and having crop insurance, I could sell my crop either on the futures or sell it later after we had the crop. The crop insurance leaves me feel comfortable selling a portion of my crop ahead of time. I always try and sell in the top third of the market, or at least average in the top third of the grain market, and I feel with the crop insurance it just gives me more peace of mind. With CRC insurance, one advantage I see is that you have a price guarantee or revenue guarantee, which enables me to feel comfortable forward pricing some of my crops if the price is in my window for selling some ahead. Along with the CRC insurance, we currently have all our crops insured. If there'd ever be a major disaster and there'd be any government subsidies, you need to have your crops, all your crops insured. We currently have a corn level at 70% and the soybeans at 60%. Depends on how many acres of corn or beans I have. I do change that from year to year possibly. 65% level for us seemed to be pretty much in the middle of the road as far as payment and returns. Seem to be a good place to be. Another way of managing risk, I have the hogs, custom work, and have my own farming operation. That kind of plays along with the crop insurance as far as managing risk. I think that's very important. It gives you more of a peace of mind knowing that you're kind of covering as many bases as you can. If one thing's not doing as good as another, one thing or several things will help carry you through a rough time. Another way of managing risk, I think, is using new technologies that come along, although I think you got to maybe go slowly to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do. Along with the yield monitor on the combine, we like to use the data from that to check varieties. That's another way of helping to manage risk. And also with using the yield data from the combine, it also lets us know what varieties are working better for our farms. We use it in the corn planter and marker varieties in the fall. We'll know exactly when we get there to harvest what the yield was for that variety. We'll know what variety is in that field, and I think that's another way of helping to use new technologies to also help with your risk. Another advantage to having crop insurance, we double crop all our wheat back into beans. In some years it's dry and it seems kind of maybe foolish to plant the beans, but I always feel comfortable planting them because I know I'll at least get my seed costs back because I have insurance, and usually ends up being a good crop, but at least I have that peace of mind of knowing I'll get my expenses back. Most of my customers that I do custom planting for have crop insurance. It's kind of another peace of mind for me knowing that I'll get paid. At least gets their costs covered for their crop. I think risk is going to become a greater thing every year, covering your risks as far as like selling grain. I mean, it's not so much local anymore. It's gotten global. The risks are going to be, the highs and the lows are going to be higher and lower and more volatile. So I think that's another reason to eliminate as much risk as possible. You can't do it. You can't eliminate it all, but do the best you can with what you have, and eliminate as much risk as you can in farming. Take each day as a new day and enjoy it.